I think, look, this is what I think. I think child-free life is fantastic. That's me having a child. And having a child is just another, it's a different, it's just different.
I think you did it right though. You like lived a significant amount. Not
Yeah,
to
no,
say
no,
that you're
no,
old,
no, 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 absolutely,
but you
right?
like went through your 20s and your 30s, and then you had a kid. Because like there are women younger than me that are like already on their third kid. And I'm like, oh my god, I still have so much to do before I, dive into family ness.
Well, and I think, I don't know, like Aaron asked me an example, or us together, like, it's like she's 38, and so we've both been like single doing things and just kind of came together and.
Wait, she's 38
Mm-hmm.
and you're 45. What
Mm-hmm.
are you guys on something? Because you both look so much younger than you are.
We're just I don't know,
Youth.
living on life. I don't know. No, I
That's
think
crazy.
that I think I think I don't know. I have slowed my aging process down in the sense of like finding ways to like not stress, like to
Mm.
de-stress, right? And I think Erin is she's kind of the same way. She has her own way of kind of de-stressing, but she understands that. I'm kind of coming into mine, like figuring it out, and it just makes you just, I don't know, like I think the lack of stress makes you just like really, I don't know, seem young, feel young, look young, act young. I don't know. But she didn't like to go nowhere. She's a homebody. So you were talking earlier about like just dating someone and having similar interests, right? Like I go out all the time and I'm like, you want to go? She's like, nope.
But y'all work.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain it either.
I feel like I would probably thrive with someone that didn't necessarily want to do everything that I did.
It takes an incredible amount of trust on both sides.
Okay, I take that
But
back.
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's true. Um, I have dated people that were just like very much not into traveling, which is like my ultimate passion, and it always was kind of just like, oh my gosh, but how? So, I would give up a bunch of other stuff, but if the person that I was committed to like just didn't give a shit, can we cuss on this
Yeah.
podcast?
So.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Hey Joe, can we bleep that out later? Yeah. Hey, just everything. I just like asking questions just to have him go like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
yeah, yeah.
totally do that. Yeah. What was
Hey
I
Joe, I
saying?
want a giant explosion like at the end. Can we do that? Okay, good. I don't know what that means.
Beep. Is
Anyways,
that
go ahead.
yes? um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that like they don't have to necessarily be into like running or exercising or whatever. But the one thing that I like want to talk about all the time is traveling the world and cultures and discovering new shit. So I think that if they just didn't give a shit about that at all, then I don't think it would work out. So
So,
like, there's that one ultimate thing, that one thing that's really important. The rest kind of just like,
so yeah, yes, I would agree. I kind of always tell Joe, I think of it more of a like, okay, like you get to put down a list of 10 things that you want in a person, and just go ahead off top, just scratch off three of those motherfuckers because you're not gonna get them. Like just go ahead and just take it off, right?
yeah,
And then go like at this. What are the seven that I gotta have, or
even
like,
seven.
I mean, if that's 70%. Like, you know what I mean? If you found somebody you really matched with, that's passing, right? But I'm saying, like, does that make sense?
Yeah,
And so, like, there's gonna be things that are just kind of just really not willing to give up, and then there's gonna be things you're just like, okay, that is important, but it's not important as this other stuff.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I heard the other day, and I kind of always forget this, but I think what context was this in? I don't remember, but basically you want your partner to be perfect for you and like fulfill your every need. It's very unrealistic, but you're like looking for that person that checks all the boxes, but realistically they're only going to check
Yeah.
maybe 70%,
Yeah.
and you just find the rest of those things that you need as a human in other humans, like friends and family and yourself. And that was said, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's a lot of things that other ways that these things that you need in your life can be fulfilled. So,
Oh yeah,
you're looking
absolutely.
for like that perfect person, but you're never going to find that. And I think people are like so set on that. And I was ages ago.
I don't know what this was. It was I know there's a book, and then there might be a show, but it was basically interviewed like 50 couples that have been married for like 20 plus years or something like that, or vice versa. Or, I can't remember what it was. Anyways, but there was like this kind of common theme of like that the people that stayed married for a long time, they definitely had a relationship together, but they definitely had like a life apart. They had things that they did without the other person, and that balance keeps it like healthy. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking today that you meet somebody and you date them, and they're meeting your representative, right? Like, you're kind of putting on your best self. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're the best version of yourself. And then that becomes like an expectation. And then when two people break up and they go, wow, like maybe they break up, and then you get on Instagram or something like that, and they're like, they're at the beach. We never went to the beach, like, right? They just weren't being their authentic self, right? Their authentic self wanted to go to the beach. Their authentic self wanted to travel, right? And so you're representing that, and that's kind of part of like, you go like, you have to be on board. You know, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I have definitely been, not for very long, I've been that person who wanted to be what, I was like trying to be what they wanted me to be. And not really honoring myself.
It's total failure.
And it's so uncomfortable and so tiring. And it's like subconscious. You're not like, well, I gotta wear this today. Like, it's not some of the things that you do, it's not like totally conscious, or you're not conscious of it. But I have totally been love bombed before, multiple times, because people they think that, this is like, okay, this is what Ren likes, so I'm gonna be this until I can't, and it's not sustainable anymore.
So what do you find them trying to be? And just so like everybody knows that's not familiar with any of this, because it's just started and whatever. You were talking about how like your current boyfriend is like totally opposite of you.
Yeah, not like total opposite, but like not someone who lives my same lifestyle, but we mesh anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like explaining that when I date, it's kind of like this ugly triangle where you can only have two sides, not three, or three corners, where it's like they're a good person, they live my same lifestyle, and they're also into me. They're only like ever, I've only found people that only have two of those things. Like a lot of the times it's like they're a good person, they're really into me, but they don't like to travel. And not necessarily they don't like to travel, but I'm a nomad, and a lot of people think that that's crazy. Like, people are like, you don't have a house, a couch? What about a TV? And so, like, I'm not into that stuff. So it's hard to find people who are completely location independent.
Dependent. Oh, wait.
It's hard to find people
no.
who are not.
What you are is location independent.
Right.
But most people are location dependent.
See. Yeah, that I've messed that up.
Some people are location codependent.
What?
I don't know what that is.
Hold on, I was already confused, Scott.
No. Okay, so I want to guess, when you say like a guy tries to be what he thinks I want him to be, does he try to be more like carefree, but he can't? Like, it's not how he is, so he's like, she's like, well, guys like carefree, and then he can't be carefree.
Yeah, I think I have dated someone like that, where they like really put themselves out of their comfort zone, which I thought was sexy, because I was like, oh, wow, this is like what he does all the time, because that's what I really love doing. And really, he just resented me because he was always uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. Like, you can't, some people are really good at acting.
Well, but I think that like that comes back to like the kind of people pleasing, like you're meeting the representative and you have to maintain that, you know what I mean? Like, I always say the mistake I made in my marriage is I wasn't just I didn't speak up for my authentic self. Like, I just wanted to go because I wanted everything to be good.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go against the grain.
Like, that's what humans want.
Right. And so, if I would have spoke up, maybe we would have had problems sooner, maybe we would have solved problems sooner or whatever. So, in starting to date Aaron, I just said, like, I'm just going to be 100% honest all the time, no matter what.
That's who I
don't care. Like, and there's been real uncomfortable moments where like she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, like, I don't want to tell you that, but yeah, you know what I mean. And so, like,
yeah, I do kind of suck. Sorry.
like the first, well, no. Like, I remember the first time that so kids just fall. I mean, like, just to let you know, like, kids fall. Like, and so. But the first time your kids fall, it's like the first time you get like a dent in your new car. You're just like, oh, right? And so she goes, if she falls with you, are you going to tell me? And I was like, if you ask me, I'll tell you. She goes, but you're not just going to tell me? I was like, I might not just voluntarily let that information if everything's
By
okay.
the way.
But I was like, if you ask me, I will tell you, right? And so like when something happened, she fell. She was like, did she fall? I was like, yes. Like I didn't want to, like in my gut, you don't want to kind of like upset her. But I was like, I told her I'd always tell her. So like that's kind of my rule now. It's just like 100% honest all the time, even if it just sucks horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you can't get to the solution of a problem if you don't know the facts or the question, if you're not being honest about it, right?
Yeah, true. Although I think it depends on the gravity. Like if she just like fell on her booty, then I don't think that you have to report that to your girlfriend. But fiance, wife,
Girlfriend, yeah.
But like I don't know. I think like if we like take that like bigger scale, I think that sometimes I've learned the hard way that divulging too much can kind of put you in a weird spot before a person really truly knows you.
Yes.
Because then you are painting the picture of yourself. Oops, my bad. That like way early. Start like beatboxing.
My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire.
We're gonna have like a intermission where we're just gonna be like. Pop, 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 pop.
Now it just looks like she's playing her boobs. She's just like this.
Okay, go back to the serious stuff. Where if you divulge too much, you are already painting this picture of yourself and your history and everything that makes you to this person that doesn't, you don't even give them a chance to get to know you like as your authentic self just through their eyes. So I think that like I've learned the hard way where I'm just like, here's everything about me, blah, 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 my history, and some things that sometimes I do, but we grow so much within 6 months that there are so many things that I've done 3 years ago that I wouldn't even like fathom now. Like it was just like, who was I before? So I think that there's beauty in being completely honest, but I think that giving a person, your person, a chance to like really see you the way that like you are in a raw way instead of you just like shooting out all these facts about yourself. I think that that's a little bit more, that's more fair for the both of you, I think.
I'm like,
sometimes.
Well, I just I'm trying now not to assume anything. Like I told Aaron, I go, if we get in like a disagreement or if something happens, blah blah blah, like, and it's between me and her, the truth lies somewhere in between. Like, and so like I need you to be 100% honest, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, no matter how much it sucks, because otherwise this doesn't work, and we're not gonna kind of solve this. You know what I mean? And that's real hard to do, because your natural reaction is to kind of like be like, well, it's your fault, or Well, and like I think I've said before, like, I feel like a baby. I mean, if something happens with a baby under your care, it's like it's a gut instinct as a parent to go, hey, what's going on over there? Like, what'd you do? And be kind of accusatory. And you have to remember, like, hey, that shit can happen with you too. You know what I mean? And so, like, in the most intense moments, it's like hard to keep a cool head.
Yeah, I suppose like your example with the baby is like totally different than the example I was like I was touching on. Whereas
Oh,
like
sorry.
because you said that when you first met your lady, I think that you wanted to be your complete authentic self and not be something that you were like thinking that she wanted you to be, right?
Right.
So I was piggybacking off that,
Right.
and not the baby example. If things happen with a baby, that's way more serious. Just hide it. No, that's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like when you first meet is what I was saying.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I I I was the kind of person that would divulge too much information about myself, right? And then I realized, well, of course, like that's the way that person know me, because that's what I told him I was.
Yeah.
So I just kind of decided, like, I like asking a lot of questions. Like I try to like ask and talk to him, like what I was saying before, like not assuming, right? And I don't think a lot of people do that. I don't think they ask their partner hard questions. Like I mean, we ask each other kind of hard questions at times, just to kind of know, like, hey, what would you do in this?
What kind of person am I dealing with?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean, like, because you want to be on the same page as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're gonna be together long term.
Yes.
And I mean, you should because you have a baby, so you have to know this person.
Yes.
As well as you possibly can, because you're making another person with her. Like, I actually don't really know. I'm so fascinated with new parents because, or even parents that have 3 kids, because I have never had a child. I've only had like plants and a dog. I don't. I can't even imagine trying to create another awesome human being with someone else. Like, you know how you want to raise someone, and then you have like a completely different other perspective on the other side, and somehow you have to make those match. What? That sounds fascinating. Like, it sounds almost impossible.
So what we did was, I mean, this wasn't a total accident. You know, we talked about it. We talked about like what if we have a baby? What? And she was like, I don't know. I think we could do it, but you know, whatever. And I go, okay, well, what if things don't work out? Do you think we can do this? She goes, yeah. She goes, I think I could co-parent. Like, there was just a feeling around like that we kind of wanted, like we trust each other to do this together, almost like you would like like a best friend, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and trusted like, hey, if shit goes south, we can still do this. And I think that was like the thing that just kind of told me like, oh man, like I could do this. I think, you know.
But how can you see so far in the future to where like shit has never gone so south to where you do not want to be together anymore? So you don't know each other in that stage, or in that sort of like, no one can see the future like far enough to be like, this is how I'm going to act, this is how I'm going to feel, especially like what are the circumstances, like why aren't you together anymore? That's super important, because I think that maybe if like maybe you fell out of love, it would still be easy to raise a child. Now if like a person like very ugly, in an ugly way, cheats on the other person, then how are you going to just be like, it's fine, let's create this child still? Like,
I thought a lot about this, and that my daughter will marry a man based on how I treat her mother. Right?
totally, yeah.
So, I mean, she could burn my house down. You know what I mean? And I would try in my best way to show grace and be kind. And this is my daughter's mother. Even if at the moments if she was ever wrong, you know what I mean? Like, this is still, you know, the mother of my child. You know what I mean? And I want my daughter to see a good example too. You know?
Yeah,
So
true.
so like that, I know what I can control my part. I can't control her part. But like, you know, even like through my divorce, I tried to just be as nice as possible, man. I just didn't want to have any regrets
Yeah.
left over of like, oh man, I was a real dick. I was like, I just wanted to try to be as nice as possible because I wanted to be at peace with what had happened, because it was, I mean, it was jarring, you know.
And that's why I think it's like not that smart. I mean, this is like, I'm talking like I know anything. I don't think it's that smart to get married so young. Maybe like we don't even know ourselves. So you have this thought of like, well, I want to be this specific person or this type of person for the person who's watching me. And also, I don't know, like I would have the same answer now, but ask me 10 years ago, I would have been like, fuck that guy. I don't care. I don't care who's watching. Like, you just don't have that kind of clarity. So I think that if I were to like be serious with someone now and start something now, in 10 years I'm going to be a completely different person and look back and be like, God, I was so stupid. So that's like another thing that fascinates me. Like, people are so into the idea of marriage and like committing to someone before they even know themselves fully. So I'm so glad. Like, I'm so happy about my past and how things didn't work out and I'm not married now, because I like would be learning myself with the other person, and then they'd have to deal with all my shit all the time, which is gonna happen anyway. But
question we don't have to go any further with though: are your parents divorced?
super divorced.
So that probably has an effect on that too, right?
Oh God, yeah.
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 So, but I mean, I think just like, you know, being able to just like say, hey, yeah, it does, is like really great. At least you can explain that. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even take the time to figure out like why they don't want to do the things they don't or do want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all the like adults in my family have been divorced twice or 3 times. I have like no concept of what a good, healthy marriage looks like. I do from the movies.
I don't know if that's like. I feel like an example of like a marriage in the movies is like, what's that movie?
No, it's not. It's not like the example you would go with. They're like, oh, the sunset on the bridge, and there's someone that. Like,
I was thinking more of like Parenthood, like, or what's that one where they have to drop their kids off at McDonald's? Oh crap, Steve
I don't
Martin's in it.
know.
It's like it's about
Cheaper by the dozen.
no, it's
No.
no that no, it's
Their
like
parents.
no. All the parents are divorced. That's the movie. Like, that would be, to me, that's more realistic of what goes on in our country of like
Yeah.
the level of divorce, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just
And also like the effort that goes into divorce just seems like a lot. So
tell me about it.
I don't know, but it just seems I keep doing that. I mean, I should just like flick it.
Just,
Sorry. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of like turmoil. I mean, maybe like if you just don't get married in the first place and just like be like, hey, I super love you. Let's stay together till we don't love each other anymore. And then you're like, goodbye. Instead of like, let's get married, spend all this money, tell everybody, wear jewelry that tells everybody else. And then we hate each other and then we have to pay to separate. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But if I ever meet someone where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to marry this person, then
I'm gonna play him this tape is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Like, here, that's what you're getting into. No, like no,
that's what you're gonna have to deal with.
You know, I told oh, there's that marker for the thing.
Yeah.
I told like obviously Erin and I have talked about marriage because we have a child together, right? And I told her the love part of me is all in. Like I love you, I want to do this, but what people don't understand is there's a business part of marriage too.
Yeah.
And if it's something that you want to do, you have to make sure you take care of the business end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's stuff we have to tie up before we could do something like that. You know what I mean? And so I think that was the misconception I had going into the first time. I was like, oh, we're doing this for love. You know, and I didn't realize this is also like, it's also a business deal. You know, unfortunately. And I mean,
love requires paperwork.
yeah, you know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like you're also signing into like a joint venture or like a deal or whatever. So
Yeah.
like, it does, like you do have to think about that. You do have to talk about it. And like how many people like get together and go like so what are we going to do when we break up? You know what I mean? Like how are we going to handle that? Like if you're going to be nuts, I don't even want to start this. Like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Nobody talks about like, and so like as an example, like the baby, it's like you have to talk about scenarios that you don't want to necessarily talk about.
Ever even think about, really.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it'd be good to know, like, and then you start like, you know, you look at your list and you're like, ooh, like, you know what I mean? Like, that would, got, you know, but you have to talk to that person, and that person has to be honest. And if you're not talking or someone's not honest, it doesn't work, you know?
Yeah. And then you're like, the lies are building up, and then you're like way too far into whatever, like either the marriage or like, you know, raising a child. And then you can't really go back from that.
No.
Yeah.
A lot
It
of
just
mine.
seems like a very challenging thing. And I'm like, it would just be easier to be alone.
I also think my mom and dad told me they're like I think everything's going well or whatever, and my mom was like, well, you know, when you get married, it's different, and I was like, I mean, we've been living together, like how different could it be? But there's some, it's the idea of like if you're just like, hey, fuck you, I'm breaking up with you, and it's like, well, where am I gonna go? You know what I mean? Because I live here
Back
with
to my bed.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like subconsciously you have this option to always leave. You know, you always like have a way out if you're just dating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you get married, it's like all the doors are locked. You're like,
You're like, ah.
well, fight it out, I guess. You know, like grab your weapon.
Yeah. I mean, I say this. I've heard I'll have a very bleak perspective on this. I truly do believe in like very real, like partnership and love, and I think that this whole marriage thing, it's like very much, well, everyone else does it, we have to do it, or else we're gonna look weird if we've been dating for 11 years and you haven't popped the question. Everyone's like so worried about what things are gonna look like to other people who like don't give a shit actually, and if they're talking about it, then they're probably not your real friends.
Right.
But I think, I mean, even me, who like I do live an alternative lifestyle, and marriage has just like not really.
And by alternative lifestyle, what do you mean? We gotta clarify that means like traveling and not like this. Like I'm into dressing up as dragons and breathing fire on each other.
Yeah.
It's alternative.
Meaning I'm not. It's like my lifestyle doesn't allow for dating easily. I forgot where I was going with that, but
sorry, I derailed you.
Now I'm thinking about dragons. That I do still, even though I do live this lifestyle, I do still believe in like real partnership, and that marriage for me is not like at the forefront of my mind. It's not like, oh my God, I gotta get married because everyone else is doing it. I believe in the fact that people can be together for a really long time and really love each other and like have a wholesome partnership. But I don't think that it just seems like a very expensive demonstration of your love for other people, not even for yourself. Like, I would wear someone's ring. I'm not gonna like go to court in order to be able to wear someone's ring. It just seems kind of like, it seems old now.
Joe, how fun was my reception though?
Hey, have a reception, have a wedding, but then you can just break up if you're not like legally married. Look, I've got great ideas. Okay.
I can fix everything.
Shit, I'll even wear a dress. But yeah, I don't know. But I just have seen so many people go through such heartbreaking, stressful, expensive, life-changing divorces that it just seems like there's got to be a better way.
Well, and I think kind of, so back, like back in the day, people didn't get divorced. You know what I mean? They just didn't.
Because that was sinful.
Well, they just dealt with it, I guess, or whatever, right? And then when divorce came something that you could just do like that, I mean, it just changed the whole perspective of the thing. It basically, it's basically the loophole to like, you remember how we're talking about you're breaking up, you can like you just leave, and then you get married, you can't leave. It's like a loophole. It's like, but I can divorce you now. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And so it became that easy. And I just think like, at that point, the idea around marriage should probably change. But I mean, if it's for you, it's for you. Like, if that's what you want to do, knock yourself out.
Yeah, if it is for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, do we always do things for ourselves? There's always this external pressure for anything, like how you dress yourself. Most of the time when you leave the house, most people are not like 100% this outfit is just for me. There's always that tiny, tiny percentage that, other people are going to be seeing me, so I probably should wear a bra, even though I hate bras. There's like this external pressure that you can't really completely remove. Some people do, and more power to them. But like with everything, there's just like a little bit of pressure from other people, like family.
Yes.
So is marriage truly just for you and your partner?
Can you hear her yelling in there?
Yeah. Anyway, so alternative lifestyle. I don't raise goats for a living. Or breathe. Or no, breed fire breathing.
Why don't I just dress up as dragons and breathe fire?
Yeah. I love to hula hoop. It's just my dream. No, the reason that dating is difficult is because I'm never really in one place for very long to cultivate a proper partnership. And that makes things difficult. And that's probably part of the reason why I have these views.
So how did you get into traveling though? Like did your parents travel?
My dad travels out for work, or at least he used to, but not for pleasure as much. Like he'll go on vacations and such. My mom's kind of like Erin. She's really comfortable at home, and she likes her space. So no, not really. They did travel, like they just did a big trip, like from South America to here, but that was like probably the biggest trip they've done.
So where'd you get the passion for like traveling?
Dude, I do not know. I have no idea.
What was your first trip? What was your first trip?
My first solo trip, like my first proper trip, not just like vacation when I was 12, was to Italy.
You went by yourself?
Yeah.
Where the ugly dudes are, right?
Yeah. I had a one-way ticket to Italy. I went to teach English, and I expected to only be gone, like leave the States, maybe like, go on what do they call it, like a gap year. Mm-hmm. So like I quit my job, sold all my stuff, and I was like, I'll be coming back in like 6 months to a year. And that was back in 2016. And then I officially came to like a very ugly screeching halt when COVID hit. So I was doing it for like multiple years straight. And I didn't realize that I would be so addicted to this sort of lifestyle and adventure. I was like very regimented and had stability, which I often crave. But I like my lifestyle of like craziness and like, let's fly to Japan tomorrow. More than stability, even though I do need stability. But yeah, I don't know where it came from. I think listening to a bunch of people talk about travel, I was like, man, that actually kind of sounds kind of good. Like I'm single, I don't really like. I didn't own a house. Like there was really nothing keeping me here. So I was like, oh, I'll try it out. And then I just kept trying it out forever.
So what was COVID like for you then?
Dude, it was tough.
Yeah.
I went into like a very deep depression because although this sounds dramatic, because I'm like super blessed, none of my family got COVID. I wasn't really like impacted by the pandemic like other people were.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm very blessed. I was living in a nice apartment by myself. It was totally fine. But because I had been traveling for so long, it became like part of my identity. And when COVID was like, nah, bitch, you stay here, I was like, oh God. And I felt like I lost part of my identity. It was like so dramatic because I was like really excited to go and talk to people and meet new people around the world and learn different cultures and languages and eat different foods. And then all of a sudden I was in my apartment for 4 days straight without going outside or talking to anybody. And I was just like, who am I? What am I doing? Like, is this ever going to go back to normal? It just became like this, it snowballed into this like depressive, just, oh, it's never going to end. Just like, I don't know if you've ever gone so, let yourself get so like, ugh, that you kind of feel like you can't get out of it. COVID was ugly for me.
That one.
Not having COVID, but like.
That was your. Like that was your ugly feel. Like you were like you asked me if I ever had like a ugly like a like that was your
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do?
I kind of all of a sudden became a homebody, and like I still feel it now where I'm just like, do I really want to travel? And I'm like, of course I do. But I think it changed, and also changed the way that I see myself and my lifestyle. I was like really like going at it, and I was just like really excited about it. And then I think age as well. Excuse me, coming up to me. You're gonna edit that burp out, right?
Well, probably not when you look directly at the camera, but
you're supposed to be like, yep.
Joe, can you edit that out, Joe?
Make the volume really loud. Accentuate it.
I just ate more salad.
Can we do an explosion behind her when she?
You can put that in the bloopers.
Make you breathe fire like your dragon.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a tough time, definitely, and it sounds so dramatic because I was totally fine. I had a roof over my head. I had food. My friends were still around. I was in Austin, which like we could have been stuck in California. That would have been awful. We would have had to be in lockdown forever. But like everything was fine. But
or you could be stuck in China or like Welge in your apartment or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. They ain't fucking around.
Not seeing the light of day. Yeah, no. I hate talking about that because it sounds dramatic, but like I don't know. People get down for their own reasons, and I was just like, oh my gosh, my life is over. I was being very dramatic.
I guess I don't go out and do a bunch of stuff, but I got more comfortable being at home, just where I don't know. I found myself like just doing things, and then like, oh well, I could stay home and do that instead of like having to find something to do on a Friday night. I was like, oh, I'll stay home. I can play video games.
That's really refreshing.
Yeah, and like it became more of a balance, like where like I just wasn't doing like all kind of one thing, like even back in the day when Joe and I used to go like country dancing all the time and stuff like that. It's like, that's like all we did. That's all we did.
That's
like,
all I did. That's how I met you guys.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? And it was just like it was all of it all the time. And I wish maybe we'd still be doing it if I just would have kind of balanced it out and gone like once a month or like something like that. Instead of that's the only thing we did.
Instead of just going hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Also, just I guess maybe like your interests change.
Yeah.
Now there's like a lot more interesting things.
Yeah, like right now I'm into babies. That's my new thing.
What are you doing Friday night? I'm snuggling with my child.
Yeah. No, we have a whole nighttime routine that we do, and so I call myself the Sandman. Like I just put her out. Like I have a whole routine to get her down, and then the earlier we get her down, not earlier, but like we try to get her down like 8:30, and then then we have time to like hang out and stuff.
Yeah, just be together.
Like, it's important, and it's important that we have our time too. We dedicate a lot of time to her like all day long. It's good to have our time together too, so we can just watch our show or do whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, how are we doing on time, Joe?
37 minutes.
Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, I can just look at my watch. That's cool.
You do have a watch.
No, it shows the camera on my watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now it's
So
on,
I can just start and stop it whenever I want to. Like, bam. Cause I run this shit.
Prepare.
Hey, you want to try to pull something out of the helmet?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. I have to come up with a better setup. Right now I'm just duct taping it to this thing. This better be good. Oh, we've had this one before, but I really like it. But it's not really. You can't do truth or dare. It's truth or dare, but we're just doing truth, and we're not doing the dare part.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like doing a dare. Okay.
I don't feel like it.
And I just really don't care who you say. What would you do, or who would you kill if there was a purge day? Do you know what purge day is?
Like I could kill
anybody and get
kill
away
anyone
with it.
and then do anything that I wanted?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The possibilities.
Wow. Who would I kill? Or
I would kill Bill Cosby. I'll just say it right now.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy.
That's kind of messed up what that guy did.
Gosh.
He didn't care about no kids.
Does it have to be one person?
God, do you have more than one?
No, I'm just thinking like a blanket
I had
genocide.
So I had my friend BJ on the podcast, and his wife sat over to the side, and I asked him that question, and he goes, I don't know who I would kill, and then he goes, I forgot how he said it, but he goes, oh, I know, I would do it for her, and I was like, what? Like he was gonna kill one of her ex-boyfriends or something like that.
Oh wow, well.
Or something, and I was just like, wow, y'all probably talked this out and everything, I guess, huh? It felt very planned, like they already knew.
And he was kind of like, well,
it's like, oh, I don't know. So you have more than one person? Is that what you said?
Yeah, if I could kill a type of person.
Okay,
just
I'll go with
kill
that.
them all out.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, that's a better question. What type of person would you eliminate from the human race so they do not spread their horrible genes on the rest of the universe forever?
Probably either pedophiles or rapists.
Yes.
Just wipe them out.
Yeah. What are the
do like the
what do you need them
eugenics
for?
type of, not eugenics, no, you're just killing them. Yeah, probably I would just kill, if there was just a gene that we could that we could detect in people and just be I think that would be super helpful.
Yeah. I mean, we want to make sure we get it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how do you confuse a rapist?
Well, I don't even know how to
tell.
Okay,
Scott.
I don't know how to define their genes yet.
You know, if there were a way to do that, then yeah, I probably, if I could choose a type of person, then I would kill them. Now, what would I do?
I think we should just put them all in an open prison, like blood sport, and see who survives.
And then who does survive? Then
we just kill them.
Yeah.
we let them do all the hard work first, and then we just kill the last guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just take his genes.
Less bullets.
We just take it. We just freeze him or something, so that his genes will never spread. I don't know.
Oh well, yeah.
I'm trying to make it sound real dramatic, like a movie or something.
You know, this could be an idea for a movie. Yeah. Huh. Anyway, so that's my answer.
Okay, I like it. I
like how initially I was just rape.
Well, I mean,
the first thing.
Well, no, no. I think that's a good thing to eliminate. I'm gonna look in here again. We don't do this very often. Oh, this is a pretty good one. Okay, so would you rather remember nothing or be able to remember every detail about everything?
Probably I would want to remember every detail about everything. I think.
Why? I mean, you're talking about every detail of everything. Imagine the bad things that happen to you. And then you remember that yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm just so good at repressing things that I think that
I can handle it. Yeah, I'm good.
I'll be good. Yeah, because can you remember, or can you imagine not remembering
Have you seen 50 First Dates?
I have, but it was ages ago.
Okay, what do you know the concept of it, right?
Yeah. It's every time she wakes up.
She doesn't remember shit. And he has to get her to fall in love with him every single day over again, I think. Okay,
so if you didn't remember anything, imagine how you would be to other people in your life. Just so irritating. Ren, your name is Ren.
But here's the funny part about it. You ain't gonna remember tomorrow, so I can just be an asshole. I can just be shut the fuck up, and you're just tomorrow you're like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, yeah, Scott.
That's true. I don't know. No, I would rather remember everything because then you could use that as a tool. And
you ever seen there was a 2020 where they had these people on that they had this real weird memory thing, and one of the people on there was like, she was a famous woman on TV. I can't remember what the show was. Anyways, but they could remember like things like that. Like they had these real distinct memories of like dates and shit like that. So they'd ask a dude, what day was the Super Bowl on in like 1976? And he would go, it was Sunday, blah, 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 and just like say the date. Like, it was crazy.
This is useless shit.
Yeah, but then it would be just like regular games or like political events or
That's
just
insane.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they had
no.
this super detailed memory.
How is there that much room up there?
I don't know. I got plenty of room. There's just nothing in there.
I just don't utilize
There's tons of room for information just not being used.
I feel like that should change probably.
Well, I mean,
Just start learning the colors of.
well,
No.
you know what's funny is it's like I was telling Aaron, I was like, I find myself like as I get older wanting to check the rain gauge.
The what?
The rain, the rain, like you see how much it rained, like like the little thing you dump out the water. You know what I'm talking about?
Why?
Because I'm interested in how much it rains. Like as you get older, like I noticed this in my parents, like or like a lot of my clients that are older, they just love the weather. They're like, "Did you see what the weather's gonna be today?" I'm like, "No fucking idea." And then I find myself like checking my rain gauge and then going like, "Wow, we got 3 inches." And I'll come in and tell Aaron, I go, "We got 3 inches." She's like, "I don't care."
Oh my god.
Yeah. She's like,
Wait,
whatever.
so hold on. Is that because everything that interested, or most of the things that interested you before, no longer interest you? So now rain is now interesting, or
No.
is it? No. Okay.
Do you know what I really think it is? Is like, but you can probably relate to this. Like as you get older, it's like if you've seen it once, if you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times. You know what I mean? So you start being familiar with stuff. So then you start looking for stuff like I'm not familiar with. Like what are things I don't know anything about? You know what I mean? And I think that's part of like what sparked the podcast a little bit. Is just like having so many interesting friends that do stuff that I really don't do, and being able to ask them questions about it or whatever.
So what would you like to know?
Well,
What else?
I already asked you. I said, where are the hottest guys in what country?
Oh yeah, that's what you want to know.
But what I really
the
want
burning question.
No, what I want to know is if you started in Italy and it was all ugly dudes there, what made you want to keep traveling?
They were all. I was like,
they're like, man,
I should just
people
go
know the
home."
countries are ugly. I'm not going anywhere else.
No, Italian guys weren't ugly. They're just not my type.
Yes.
But you can't like this blanket thing. I can't just throw a blanket over all Italian men. Like they are very beautiful Italian men, but I think this type and like their style, I'm more like into like the lumberjack kind of guy than the sip my espresso like this kind of guy. And like power to them if they like
lumberjack.
like that.
If they do espresso and they.
Well.
They're like, let me set my axe down.
I haven't met one of those yet, but yeah, the type in Italy wasn't my jam.
Yeah.
But when you asked me that initially, I just like I can't think of a country where like the men were. I think British boys are pretty cute. British men.
They have like dark hair, light eyes.
I don't know. Like I really only spent a significant amount of time in London, and London is so diverse. So it'll be like a beautiful Iranian man, and you think Arabic or.
Oh, but then he has a British accent.
Yeah, and
yeah.
For me, I was just like, oh my god.
I feel like there's like a famous guy like that. I feel like there's somebody.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah.
Yeah, that have that whole thing.
Or like someone who looks African American or just like African, and then they have like a French accent, and it's just like for me that kind of like that's kind of sexy when things are like you're expecting one thing and then yeah.
I feel like not calling myself sexy, but I feel like that,
I feel like I'm sexy because
no. But I feel like that people like my appearance, the tattoos and stuff like that, and then my accent is so heavy, like a Texas Southern accent. It's very contradictory in a similar way.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's right. I feel like you should be talking like more ghetto, based on
more ghetto,
more like Joey.
Like Joey?
No, Joey's not ghetto. I don't know why you were like me, but I'm
more
sure that
like I'm from California.
Yeah, or like more like swag, but because you're like you have sleeve, like your entire body is tattooed.
I thought,
and you wear these.
I thought you were gonna say like some hip term I didn't know right there. Like I thought you were gonna go. You have like like I don't know, like skier, and I was like, well, what's skier? Like I was like, I don't know, like is that cool or not?
I was about to say like on fleek, like
yeah, or something like that. I'm just like, I don't know what that means.
No, but you're right. Yeah. So yeah, I find that kind of sexy. Maybe that's why I think London, British boys are kind of cute.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's beautiful people everywhere, and there are ugly as fuck people everywhere.
Quote of the night.
You know that.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that every group, every race has they have attractive people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm pretty sure, like, there were magazines that I've seen multiple magazines that say Iranian men are the most beautiful on the planet, but I have no idea.
Because you don't know like what an Iranian guy looks like.
No, I do, and they are very beautiful. But I don't know if they're the most beautiful. I've never been to Iran. And also, who cares about my opinion? It's very subjective.
I was trying to think of what a guy from what's a guy from Iran that I would know. Is there a famous guy from Iran that I would know? Not like a world leader or something, but like a movie star. Like if you name some like guy, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, okay, so I'll describe the men that are Iranian that I know. They have like olive skin and like light brown eyes and like light green eyes, dark hair, and like they're not like.
They're basically just all models. They're just a bunch of models.
Yeah, they're very pretty. Yeah, Iranian women are also very like Persian women. They're like the Kardashians, even though who knows what they look like beforehand. They're very pretty.
Well, there's the internet. We can find out.
Yeah.
There's no escaping it.
Just like really nice skin and just yeah. So I think I've seen and heard that people from that area of the world are very pretty. But like so we're Brazilian. Like everyone's obsessed with Brazilian women. But like we're not all as good looking as the Victoria's Secret models. So it's like very subjective. Like if you were to go to Brazil, you'd be like, I thought everybody was hot hair.
Where are all the Victoria's Secret models?
Where?
Can you imagine if like you went just like the streets of Brazil and there was just a bunch of chicks like just walking like through like this?
Okay, actually, when you say that, it makes me think of Croatia. When I was in Croatia, I've like never looked in the mirror and been like, "Fuck, I'm so ugly." But in Croatia, I was like, "Oh my god, I am the ugliest thing here."
Really?
Croatian women are beautiful. They're like long-legged and tan and sexy, and they have nice skin and beautiful blue eyes and like really white teeth. And I was just like, wow, what the heck? Where am I? It was crazy.
What kind of
Croatia?
What kind of food do they eat in Croatia?
Funny you ask because that was probably one of the countries where I ate the worst food.
Like it tasted the worst?
There was ham and mayonnaise and everything, and the fish was good, but I think I have a bad taste in my mouth about it because I got sick off of like bad mayo or something. But it just wasn't that great. It was just like very plain.
I was just wondering if like, you know, like if they have these beautiful people running around, like their diets are real good or something.
Maybe it's because the food sucks. That's why they're all like fit and skinny.
They just don't eat.
Like if you go to Greece.
I am not eating mayonnaise. I don't know. That was my best Croatian accent.
I remember eating a lot of fries because I was like, can't go wrong with fries.
Hey Joe, you want to do? We'll do like one more card or something and wrap this up. What do you think?
Stop again.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever she said. Yeah. Oh.
I hate these flies.
I know. I don't know.
Where'd they come from?
I don't know. Like I
Joey,
I apologize. Like I
apologize
about that because that really it's bothered me.
I'm just trying not to. There. Now they can't get into my wine.
Here,
they can get in my face and not my wine.
Here, you pick one and see what we come up with.
Not the cow one.
Let's see. Oh. Okay. This is a horrible subject. I mean, it's not really, but it is interesting, and it will lead to probably about a good 10-minute conversation. Okay.
Okay, maybe.
Because I have opinions on this. Is artificial intelligence something we should embrace or be afraid of?
Okay, so this is a topic I really, genuinely don't really know much about.
But
I don't pay enough attention to that.
But you have a level of social media influence.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, yeah.
So.
Be afraid of? I don't know. I mean, you watch movies like iRobot and you're like, oh my god, the world's gonna end. And then.
I love iRobot, by the way.
Well, I mean, Will Smith is the bomb.
Yeah.
I think that if it were someone else.
I just watched it the other day.
Really? I should really rewatch that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Okay, so tell me your thoughts, and then maybe this will spark more of my opinion.
So, it's too late for me. It's too late. Erin's okay because she doesn't get on the internet. She doesn't do social media or nothing like that. and like
She's
she's
smart.
involved a little bit or whatever. But like I'm all deep into social media, right? So, but we don't put Lucy on anything. We're gonna try to keep her off as much as possible. She's not gonna get social media stuff. She's gonna hate us. All of her friends are gonna have it at like 4, and we're gonna be like, nope. You know what I mean?
You mean you don't have a Facebook?
Yeah.
Or
Like
Twitter?
they're like,
TikTok?
they're like, nah, phone, got one, friend, ugh, you know, whatever. And so we're gonna be those parents. But I really think that for the healthiness of her brain, of developing into a functioning human and having to interact with other humans and not depending on its devices, it's just really important. You know what I mean? It's really important for her. So like I'll send pictures to my friends. Like I'll show people pictures. We take pictures. We take videos, stuff like that.
Look,
We
this
just
is
don't.
my human.
We just don't post anything.
Have you seen, what is that thing on Netflix? It's a show. Everyone was talking about it. It's about social media.
The American Meme,
No.
the social
What was it?
experiment or whatever that there was.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It was pretty recent.
I
within
watched
the
it, I
last
think.
year.
It's called a social dilemma.
Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Something like that.
That is pretty scary. I didn't watch it. I have heard so much about it that I feel like I did. When it first came out, everyone was talking about it. Yes, I'm on social. I work on social media. I'm on social media a lot. Like my business is on social media.
Yeah.
And I actually hate it because because it's like it's so like it's a lot. And now knowing how much information people can find out about you, like most of my posts, if I am like, let's say I'm in Israel, I'm not going to, I'm a little bit scared of, oh no, I'm totally scared of telling people where I am. So if I'm like on one side of it, like let's say I'm in Jerusalem, I'm going to wait 2 days to post that I'm in Jerusalem, and everything that I do is 2 days behind.
Yeah. I think that's smart.
But
I
if
think people
someone
don't realize-
really wanted to know where I was, they wouldn't have to use my social media. They could use anything to find out where I actually was, like where I use my card. Like it's just kind of scary that everything is out there.
Yeah.
Everything. And I do that because I travel alone most of the time, and I just don't think that everyone should know where I am all the time.
I don't think there's anything wrong with like being smart. You know what I mean?
Some
like
people think that's like,
you can
oh,
have
calm down.
Well, like so you talk about like alternative lifestyle and the travel and stuff like that. You could totally live that lifestyle and you can travel alone and blah blah blah. But you have to take precautions that other people might not have to take if they're traveling with couples and blah blah blah. You have to take a different set of precautions.
Oh God, so many.
You know what I mean? Just and I would do that even as a guy. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just because you're a girl. It's like when you travel alone, you have to take certain precautions. Like my client Tom, he travels alone a lot. Takes certain precautions when he travels, he does all these things. You know what I mean? Because you have to.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's crazy people everywhere. They're here, they're there, they're everywhere. You know what I mean?
Just like ugly people.
But yeah, I mean, it's like there's every people are everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. So to answer that, I think maybe we should fear it. I don't know if that has very much to do with what you asked about artificial intelligence, but if we're talking about just like how much we are relying on technology, I think it is a little bit scary. Like, it kind of makes me think of how many people were absolutely screwed when Texas froze over because they couldn't YouTube how to make a fire. Where are our matches? Oh shit, someone YouTube it. We can't. Like, I bet there were a lot of people that were just like, well, how do I open a can of beans without a can opener if I don't have YouTube or Google? Like, I'm sure there were many people younger than me, hopefully. I keep doing that.
Joe,
it's a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's very scary.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's so sad too. Like, what did we do before Google came out? I mean, we were like easily able to use Google like a decade and a half ago. No, just a decade. I don't even know. When did we have information in our hands?
Like when we get smartphones?
Yeah.
Like it's 2008, 10, somewhere around there, I think.
So like about a decade, right?
So like the iPhone.
What the hell did we do before that?
Like, okay, so I saw it was a CNN documentary on the decades, and it said from before the iPhone, right? Like we jumped like 10 years to when we got to the iPhone. It progresses forward like 10 years, like quick overnight. Because now you just have because they had phones, had internet, but it was like all like 8-bit and shitty and whatever, and now you had like the internet in your hand, and
Yeah.
it just changed everything. You know what I mean? It progressed so fast, and then it just took off from there.
And that's why there's so many people that cannot function with other phones.
What do you use your phone for the most? Do you think? Like outside of
Work.
social media, like outside of work, like I can tell you what mine is. I Google Maps everything.
Google
Everywhere
Maps?
I go, I put before I leave, I just Google it. I just put on the Google wherever my route is.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like,
that's
yeah.
understandable.
Like to my house.
That's
Every
not
time.
understandable.
Yeah,
Every time.
yeah.
That's
Why not?
understandable. Because what if your phone dies? How are you going to get anywhere? With your memory?
Well, yeah, I know how to get there.
Then why did you put it?
I just like one.
Because
I like
to look at the
I,
colors.
I like to not like I can always double check, see if there's traffic accident.
Okay.
It gives you all the information
Traffic
about,
purposes.
or like if there's a faster route, or if there's I just
Okay.
I don't like being wasting time to sit in my car.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know how to get places. I'm not like I know how to get to his house
Where's
and
my
get to work,
mailbox?
shit like that. But you know what I mean? Yeah, but I'd like it for 2 minutes.
What do I use my phone for? Other than social media. Well, okay, so I work on social media, but I also like scrolling on Instagram because I follow like mostly travel pages.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like learning about the world, and then also that's like where I get most of my workouts. How to build my butt. So.
When the guy that I brought on a couple weeks ago, he's a trainer, and we had this whole conversation about Instagram trainers and stuff like that. And like, what I think about that's good about that is, for the most part, everybody's sharing the same type of stuff, and nobody's going to die. You know what I mean?
For the most part.
Is
Is
there stuff? Is there stuff that's way more dangerous, or like certain people should, or whatever? Yeah, but like for the most part, no one's doing anything super dangerous, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's
You
weird. It's
gotta
weird
be
that
careful.
people. It's weird. Like I don't get workouts from there. You know what I mean?
Well, but you're a personal trainer.
No, but I'm saying like but like you're instant travel and you follow travel. Like I follow sneakers. I guess it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, and it's like now they're making Instagram so informational. Like I learned so much about just scroll. Remember when it used to just be an app of pictures?
Yeah.
Now, like if you watch a reel and you learn something about a country that you've never even heard of.
Yeah.
So I do really like that part of it. But yeah, that's what I use it for.
Did you have fun?
Doing this?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a pleasure. When I got that email, I was like, oh my god, I'm so special.
No, for real. Like I mean, I tell you, you were one of the first people I thought of.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, just because, like you said, you have an interesting life. I mean, we didn't even get into the real interesting stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I hope that there are other interesting parts about me.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like I knew there was a lot of interesting stuff about you. Like I said, I have a lot of cool friends. So
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to get Tom on here.
Yeah, I know.
He'd have a lot of stuff.
Oh my
of
gosh.
stuff to talk about.
Yeah. So
Sure.
awesome. Thank you.
It's time to do this thing.
Oh yeah. Joe films that separately though.
Oh, you do? Okay.
How do you feel like that went?
Good. I feel like we kind of just jumped